Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you haven't been here before, my name is Julie and I mostly make content surrounding topics such as music, makeup, as well as mental health. Today's video is mental health related, even though my makeup's cute, but it is for my Agoraphobia Adventures series. So this is where I do exposure vlogs and I give you a glimpse into what I endure because I have agoraphobia. I specifically have panic disorder with agoraphobia, and my agoraphobia is tied to my complex PTSD diagnosis, and I do have social anxiety. And I want to mention that I've talked to a lot of people who have agoraphobia, and social anxiety is definitely co-occurring with it a lot of the time. And this makes sense to me. I'm also a therapist. If you did not know and you're new, this makes sense to me because talking to people would make it hard to go out and leave your house. But there is a difference between the two, and being in a public place, even if no one is there, is very terrifying for me, and it is hard to not be home. Today, I am bringing you to the one place I can go in COVID, which is the dentist, and I cannot wear a mask, but at the dentist, you can't wear a mask because they're in your mouth. And I did not ever plan to go there on my own, but my family and I go to the same dentist, and they were like, hey, Jules can come in earlier so that they're not in anyone's way, and so I don't have to worry about anyone staring at me like I'm Karen and I'm evil and think it's about human rights, because no, I just stay home, and I've been staying home for a year and I don't think that at all. But my dad is my support person. He is driving me to my appointment because I also have driving anxiety. Although I was able to drive on my own yesterday, I just want to tackle going in for the appointment. And I think everyone might get a little nervous to go to the dentist, but for me, it's more so just about being in a public place that's not my house and that I'm not exposed to it as much as I used to. And I feel like my agoraphobia is the worst it's ever been in my whole life. And I think a lot of people relate to that too. So yeah, I've been talking for 2 minutes now, so I'll check in with you guys when I get there and let you know how I'm feeling. All right, let's do this, Chip. So my dad is my support person, and we are gonna walk into the dentist. He decided this time that he is gonna wait in there with me, which is super considerate. Luckily he can wear a mask, so I don't feel guilty having another person in there with me. I will tell you, I told him that I had to wait to get out of the car because I saw a person and I'm terrified of getting COVID. And so I was just like, let them walk in. And then I was like, what if they're going into the dentist room? And then what if they think I'm like Karen and I'm not? And like, so, oh, and I have my fidget for coping skill. I had a snack before I left. Also, every time I go to the dentist, I don't know if this is an anxiety thing or what, but I brush and floss my teeth like completely. So I was rushing to do that. And that's the reason I don't have foundation or lipstick on today, because like, what's the point? Because someone's going into my mouth. But you can tell once I'm like talking faster and a little shaky that I'm very nervous. And yeah, so we're here. I'm probably not allowed to film in there, but all right, I'll check in with you guys after. Bye. Hey crew, I'm done. I did it. It was cool because I actually didn't know which hygienist I was going to be with, but I was with the same one that my parents go to, and it was interesting just to kind of hear about like her experience of people coming in and actually liking to go to the dentist now because they don't have to wear a mask and they get to be close to someone and like vent and talk to them, which makes sense why my field is booming right now. Oh, noise sensitivity. I don't like that. Oh yeah, and I got my little baggie, no cavities, all good. It's done. I'm gonna go home and have lunch, and I guess I'll check in with y'all one more time, but I did good. And the cool part about it was I was talking to her about like non-binary things and educating everyone there on it. It's cool. It's the first time I got to do that, so see you soon. Hey crew, I am home now. I am horribly anxious. My dad was spouting off about Jeff Bezos. I know this is unrelated, but like when you have agoraphobia and you already get overstimulated from your environment, and also social anxiety does that to me, everything just like triggers me. There's lots of things that trigger me, and I hate people think like, oh, overusing that word. Well, trigger can mean trigger a trauma symptom, trigger an anxiety response, trigger a feeling, an emotion. I have no problem with that. I'm not gonna gatekeep triggers ever as a trauma-informed provider or a human being, just saying. But anyway, yeah, he was just saying like, oh, Jeff Bezos is doing telehealth, and I was like, I still hate him. And then he was talking about some other things about him, but anyway, I don't want to like make this video about that, but it definitely raised it up. But I'm settled now. I have my phone on a dictionary so I can just close this out and talk to you guys. But so I like to wrap up and just kind of go over coping skills of what helps me leave the house. So as I was previously saying, I love my emo person little fidget here. Beyond that, I knew this was going to be a hard thing for me with the gender identity thing. By the way, I am non-binary. I fully go by they, them pronouns now. I know I am AFAB, and that makes it even harder for people, especially if they've known me as she. And it was funny because I told the hygienist, and she was very on board with it and asking me questions. And then she talked to her colleague who's into makeup and was like, oh, come see her makeup. And I don't say anything. I don't want to be like, ah. But then like a few minutes later, she was like, I'm so sorry. You told me you were non-binary and your pronouns and everything. And then like, I still misgendered you, or she didn't use those words, but I said, you know, I'm AFAB, like, I understand, and I really, you know, I get the process. And I was telling her about how with my mom, oh my God, I gotta show you guys this. This is Snow Person. They are more male presenting, but they are they, them. My mom has an easier time not misgendering the snowman, so she practices the they, them pronouns with them, as opposed to AFAB me, and it's kind of funny and it's cool, but I do like that the world is getting to be a little more inclusive and progressive, and that I felt safe to be able to say that and be who I am in my identity, because it does make me a little uncomfortable. I mean, I feel really bad for people that it's very, very triggering for, and I can't imagine, but I'm just glad that people are respectful of it and I can have a good conversation about it. I also had a good conversation about fat phobia and diet culture. I like educating people on that, but it's so funny because my hygienist was like, yeah, well, I lost some weight and I had to work hard on it. But yeah, I don't like any of that either. I'm on Weight Watchers. Weight Watchers is diet culture. And for me with my ed, it's all like numbers based. I can't do anything with numbers. And I have problems with numbers with anxiety and OCD type stuff too. I don't want to say I have that diagnosis because I'm not entirely sure, although I was diagnosed when I was younger, and now my brain is going into this point that I want to make. If you have OCD and you're dealing with this pandemic, I am so sorry. That must be so scary, because I would not even use the bathroom when I was there. I was just like, I don't want to expose myself to anything. I put some hand sanitizer on and I left. And we've had this conversation before in my comment section on my corpse video, where I was talking about his experience with agoraphobia and mine, and clinically what I know about it, that a lot of people have agoraphobia symptoms right now, but is it truly agoraphobia, or is some of it rational? Like, I'm afraid to leave the house because what if I get COVID? I think that's really rational, you know, and I think that health anxiety is probably majorly up right now as well. And so that was my experience from talking to a lot of you in the comment section. So the point of me doing these videos is to educate all of you on what agoraphobia is like for me. But just because your lived experience is different doesn't mean that you don't have it, or that you're invalid, or if someone has it more severely than me or less. There are some people who have agoraphobia who are not homebound, who don't have driving anxiety. It's not always all correlated, and I deeply respect individuality, and I truly just think that everyone is different. But I'm still anxious and I'm still using my fidget. So now for self-care, I am gonna have lunch. I don't have any clients today, which honestly I'm happy about, because I'm anxious and just want to rest after that. That is all I get to do, and I don't have to go back till October, and I get to see my other hygienist. My dad just went like this. It's all done. But yeah, so I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have an amazing day. Please give this video a like if you enjoyed it. I'd love for you to subscribe to my channel as well. You can follow me on my Instagram. It's Julie_counseling, and my Facebook page will be linked down below in the description box as well. And I'll catch you on the flip side. Bye all.